Hello everyone. Ito po ang DENR Administrative Order 2014-02 at mas kilala po ito sa Revised Guidelines for Pollution Control Officer Accreditation. At may date po itong February 3, 2014. At ito pong department order na ito ay may signature po ng buting secretary Ramon J. Pahe at ito po ay na-published at ito po ay ang ginagamit na legal basis for accreditation of pollution control officer. May mga nauna na rito na mga policy on PCO accreditation at ito na yung pinaka-current na policy. At ito ay tumutukoy na rin na policy to pursue a policy of economic growth in a manner consistent with the protection, preservation, and revival of the quality of our fresh, brackish, and marine water. Covered ng policy na ito ang lahat ng establishments that discharge solid, liquid, or gaseous waste to the environment or whose activities, products, or services are actual and or potential sources of land, water, or air pollution. Covered ng policy na ito ang lahat ng establishment. Applied na rin po ito sa local government units or LGU, sa mga development authorities, government-owned and controlled corporations, and other public establishments. So lahat halos na establishment ay covered ng department order na ito. Merong mga napag-uusapan dito, syempre yung PCO accreditation requirement sa lahat ng mga establishment. So this department order will cover the accreditation of pollution control officers in establishments except doon sa mga na-identify na pwedeng ma-exempt for PCO accreditation requirement, yung mga ambulant vendors and stall owners. Merong dalawang responsible officers na tinutukoy sa isang establishment. Ito ang tinatawag na managing head and the pollution control officer. Ang managing head by definition sa section 4 ng department order na ito, sinasabi the highest executive officer of the establishment. Nagbibigay ng halimbawa, president, general manager, factory or plant manager, managing director, managing partner, chief executive officer or local chief executive. Ang pollution control officer naman by definition is a technical person competent in pollution control and environmental management, performing the duties and responsibilities in a particular establishment and officially accredited by the Environmental Management Bureau Regional Office to perform such responsibilities. So ang managing head at pollution control officer are the responsible officers of the establishment, and they will ensure compliance to the requirements of major environmental laws in the Philippines. So sa section 5 ng department order na ito, tinutukoy ang criteria for categorization of establishment which can be the basis for the appointment or designation of PCO. So dapat bilang managing head malaman natin kung ano ang kategory ng ating establishment, either category A or category B, at base sa category na yan, mag-a-appoint, magde-designate ng qualified PCO based on that category and based on the qualification requirement as prescribed in Section 6 na kapag ka-category A ang establishment or category B may kanya-kanyang competency requirement. Mas stringent ang competency requirement kapag category B ang establishment. Gaya na dapat ang isang PCO ay licensed engineer or chemist with at least 2 years relevant experience in environmental management or professionals in the field of engineering or physical and natural sciences with at least 3 years relevant experience in environmental management or other professionals of appropriate discipline with at least 5 years relevant experience in environmental management. So medyo stringent ang competency requirement kasi doon sa categorization ng establishment, kumbaga sa risk of operation, nasa medium to high risk ang isang category B establishment. So sa categorization, pagka category B, medyo risky. Kaya yung competency requirement ng appointed or designated PCO mas mataas. And sa side ng EMB, para ma-accredit bilang isang pollution control officer, dapat ma-meet yung competency requirement na yon. Hindi lang siya ah, minimum, mas maganda, mas mataas pa na compliance. So at least may binigay na minimum competency requirement. At in Section 7, sinasabi dito na ang managing head ay mag-a-appoint ng PCO sa kanyang establishment at hindi rin pwedeng mag-appoint ng PCO nito sa iba pang establishment. Ibig sabihin, mayroong PCO na i-appoint sa isa lamang establishment at hindi na siya pwedeng i-appoint sa iba pang establishment ng managing head. Ang mga manager, retail station manager, building administrator, especially ng mga fast food store, gasoline stations, and condominium may be designated as PCO, provided he or she possesses the minimum competency requirements for Category A establishment. Merong mga owner or manager na ginagawa din na PCO at the same time sila na rin yung margin head provided na category A lamang ang establishment. So kapag category B ng establishment, meron na talagang managing head at meron separate pollution control officer. Sa Section 8 ng Department Order na ito ay tumutukoy sa accreditation ng PCO. So once na ma-appoint, ma-designate ang isang pollution control officer, uh, may written appointment na, dapat within 15 calendar days from the date of appointment or designation makapag-apply na ng accreditation. Siyempre, ang pag-apply ng accreditation ay sa EMB Regional Office at kailangan mag-submit ng mga complete requirements at siyempre magbabayad ng processing fee amounting to 500 pesos per application. May mga common requirements na pinapasa sa EMB Regional Office gaya ng letter of appointment as PCO. So kung for the first time or renewal, pinapasa talaga itong letter of appointment na ito. And then curriculum vitae, ang iba ay resume ang tawag. Curriculum vitae with ID picture of the appointed or designated PCO. So common yan, both for new application or renewal. And then notarized affidavit of joint undertaking of the PCO and managing head. So pinapasa din yan sa first time application or renewal. And syempre, yung proof of the appointee's qualifications such as certificate of training of basic PCO training. So common yan sa nag apply ng accreditation na magpakita ng uh, qualification such as the certificate of basic PCO training. At kung PRC license naman, pinapasa yung PRC ID. And para hindi lang ah, ang PCO ang umaattend ng training na nakakaalam sa mga environmental requirements ng company, sa Section 8 ng Department Order na to, it is also a requirement for the managing head of the establishment to attend 8 hours training on environmental management. So yung pag-secure ng accreditation sa EMB Regional Office, kinakailangang mai-submit mo rin yung Certificate of Training ng Managing Head sa 8-hour training on environmental management. So ang application sinasubmit sa EMB Regional Office at a-actionan yan based on the department order. A-actionan to ng regional director within 15 calendar days from receipt of the application. At kung ma-approve ang application, syempre mag-i-issue ng certificate of accreditation. Kung ma-disapprove naman, mag-i-inform sa managing head kung ano ang grounds ng disapproval. At syempre, inaatasan in writing ang managing head na magkaroon ng uh, submission kung may kakulangan sa mga requirements kaya na-disapprove or mag-appoint ng bagong PCO kung hindi qualified based on Section 6 of the Department Order. So, ang kagandahan din dito, ang EMB Regional Office shall prepare a database of its accredited PCOs and shall furnish the EMB Central Office for consolidation and documentation. So, nagkakaroon din ng chance na mag-resign o ma-terminate ang services ng PCO. At based dito sa Section 9, kailangan mag-notify ang managing head sa EMB Regional Office uh, within 15 calendar days from the date of resignation or termination. So inaatasan ang mga managing head na mag-notify kung nag-resign ang kanyang inappoint na PCO, especially yung accredited PCO. And dapat magkaroon ng bagong PCO. Siyempre, mag-a-appoint ng panibago, mag-a-apply ng bagong accreditation within 30 calendar days from the date of resignation. Pagka nag-resign o na-terminate ng isang accredited PCO, ang managing head ang mag-a-assume ng responsibility bilang interim PCO. So kung meron mang isasubmit na report, kung merong i-renew na permits, magkakandak ng monitoring ng tubig o hangin, gawain na yan ng managing head as interim PCO. At kailangan maaalala lagi natin na kapag nag-resign o na-terminate ang isang accredited PCO ng establishment, kasama na ang kanyang accreditation doon. So automatically revoke ang kanyang accreditation bilang pollution control officer at kung siya ay lilipat sa ibang establishment bilang isang PCO, dapat mag-secure ng panibagong accreditation. Sa Section 10 ng Department Order na ito ay ang 21 duties and responsibilities of the PCO. At kung iisa-isahin mo yan, naunguna dyan ang statement na to. The accredited PCO, together with the managing head, shall ensure compliance with the requirements of PD 1586, RA 6969, RA 8749, RA 9003, RA 9275, their respective implementing rules and regulations, and other pertinent rules and regulations. So yan yung opening duty ng isang accredited PCO sa Section 10, Item number 1. At sa closing statement na rin, ay ganoon din nakasulat, the PCO and the managing head shall be held jointly and severely liable for any violation of PD 1586, RA 6969, RA 8749, RA 9003, RA 9275, their respective IRRs, and other pertinent rules and regulations committed by the establishment. So kung titingnan mo ang Section 10, tumutukoy sa 21 duties and responsibilities of the PCO, umiikot ito sa compliances with the requirements of Philippine major environmental laws. At integrated and then connected yung mga duties and responsibilities ng PCO sa bawat isa. So, hindi mo pwedeng ihiwala yung number one sa number two duty, number three duty, number four. So, nagtutulungan yan. Integrated yan, interconnected. At ito yung sinasabing kapag ang accredited PCO ay nag-resign sa company, ang managing head ngayon ang magiging interim PCO. So yung 21 duties and responsibilities na yan, yan ang gagampanan ng managing head as interim PCO. So hindi pwedeng mapapabayaan ang pag-comply sa mga requirements ng environmental laws. Sa Section 11, nagbibigay ng information na kailangan i-renew ang accreditation every 3 years. So pag may PCO, may accreditation, may validity yan na 3 taon at kailangan i-renew ito every 3 years. Once na ma-accredit din, dapat magsasubmit na ng self-monitoring report sa EMB Regional Office every 3 months. So anumang operation, anumang activities meron ang company, ang isang accredited PCO ay magsasubmit ng mga information nito through the self-monitoring report to the EMB Regional Office every 3 months. At doon sa mga ISO 14001 certified companies, pwedeng mag-request approval sa EMB Central Office kung papayagan na mag-submit ng semi-annual report of SMR. So, yan yung um, mga provisions sa DAO 2014-02 at ang panghuli dito ay ang Section 14 na nagsasabi ng mga gross violations, mga grounds for the revocation of PCO accreditation. And that is number one, submission of false documents and or reports, or two, misrepresentation of facts, or three, has received at least 3 notices of non-performance from EMB due to failure to perform any of the function as indicated in Section 8 of this order. And then four, willful and deliberate discharge of untreated emissions or effluents and hazardous and toxic substances or waste to the environment. So yan po ang DAO 2014-02 I hope sa konting panahon ay natuto tayo dito sa guidelines for PCO accreditation. Tatlong mahalagang bagay para sa panghuling pagsasanay natin sa policy na ito. Number one, we have this department order to protect our environment, especially water bodies. Yan nga nakasulat sa Section 1. It is the policy of the state to pursue a policy of economic growth in a manner consistent with the protection, preservation, and revival of quality of our fresh, brackish, and marine waters. So kaya tayo merong ganitong policy. Among many reasons is protection of our environment. Now, environment can be land, air, and eventually water. So we have this department order to protect our environment. Number two, we need to have this kind of policy to cover the accreditation of PCOs. Mas maganda na meron talagang guidelines kung paano na a-accredit ang isang appointed or designated pollution control officer. Sino ang may accreditation requirement? Dahil kung lahat may requirement nito, baka sa iba mahirap na din. Like sa nasambit dito sa Section 3 na yung mga ambulant vendors and stall owners are exempted sa coverage nitong department order. So, naging malinaw kung sino ang may PCO accreditation requirement. At pangatlo at panghuli, yung accreditation ng PCO comes with responsibilities as exemplified in Section 10 na halos umiikot ito sa pagsisiguro sa compliance ng mga requirements ng Philippine Major Environmental Laws. At yan yung magiging susi to have a sustainable practices sa company at maging sustainable ang operation ng company. So yun, at I hope may natutunan tayo sa provisions ng DENR Administrative Order 2014-02, otherwise known as the Revised Guidelines for Pollution Control Officer Accreditation. Thank you very much for time listening, and if you have question, you can type it below. Thank you very much, everyone, and God bless us all.